this is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to IdeaDiary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. Okay, so I finally made another worksheet. This will be available on my Gumroad store, and it will be $1, which just because I wanted to charge something, but as little as possible. I'm trying to test out everything. I want to test out Gumroad. I want to see how it works. I'm testing out the podcast. I'm seeing how that works. So I wanted to create little small products that hopefully are at least worth $1. So the new worksheet is called a Social Disruption New Idea Worksheet. And it's a kind of like a guided brainstorming worksheet. It is one sheet with room to brainstorm 10 ideas. And ultimately, my suggestion as a new idea person, if I were doing the solution disruption worksheet, and there's pretty much two reasons why I would do this. One is because I'm working for a company or creating my own products and services. If I'm kind of happy with everything that I'm already doing and I'm ready to add something to the plate, or I'm bored and I'm ready to add something to the plate, either way, I'm ready to add something to the plate of the company, either offering a new product or service, or I am drowning. Something happened where you can't be open anymore and you need to come up with new business ideas. So if I needed to get more revenue fast, I would do this. Like I said, I have 10 spots in here for 10 ideas on this one sheet, and I would probably do this 5 times. So if I was just doing this for fun or to add new product, I might just do 50 ideas trying to brainstorm something. If I was desperate and just needed money fast and needed to do something, I'd probably write out 100 ideas. And then you take all your ideas and you have a company meeting, a new idea meeting with everybody, or you might talk to people that you trust and that can kind of tell you what's a good idea, what's a bad idea, what their favorite idea is. And ultimately, I would write down insane ideas and impossible ideas as well as possible ideas, because I'm the dreamer type of personality. So, there's the engineer type of personality, there's the dreamer type of personality, there's the hard personality that only follows the rules and doesn't think outside of the box, and then there's the wild personality. So I think different personalities would come up with different ideas. I have kind of like a note here, so I have at the end valuable solution types. So the types of ideas that you would come up with would be educational, convenience, inspirational, entertainment, basic needs, social solutions, physical, environmental, and financial. And I just kind of made a starter list of types of solutions people might be looking for. So just kind of get some, ideas started to, a starting point for the types of problems that you could solve. And basically I have 3 little areas of notes. And this is a small thing. So really this is about doing it fast. This isn't about figuring every single thing out, but it's really just brainstorming really fast solutions. The first kind of category I've got you can write down is problems that customers have. And they can be your customers or just customers in general. What things do they need solutions for? So writing down a problem. The next category is to write your solution to that problem. And maybe you have more than one, but just like a quick 1-word, 2-sentence idea. And in the third column, I have combining forces with other brands. You can combine forces with other brands because your sales are down. Maybe they need a boost in sales. And so you can collaborate on something to try to make more money faster and easier. Or maybe one of your ideas is something where you need a venue. So you might be combining forces with a venue. Then you're doing your thing. Maybe other people are collaborating. Maybe it's some sort of event. Maybe you have a clothing idea where you're not going to necessarily make the clothing, but you could combine forces with another brand and each brand gets something out of it. There's a million and one ideas that you could come up with, but sometimes when your idea might be too big or seem impossible, if you just combine forces with another brand or business, I mean, everything could be a win-win and something can work out. Just one sheet, 3 columns. I've got spaces for 10 ideas here, but you can use the same sheet over and over again. And like I said, I think 50 new ideas for a good solid try, because I do think, the first 10 ideas, you might have that kind of first level ideas that everyone else is going to have. Then when you start getting into like the 20th idea, 25, 30, it might start getting weird. And then beyond that, 30, 40th, 50 idea, it starts getting weird in a way that things will just start connecting in ways that you didn't even know your brain was possible of creating. But it's in there. You got to work out your brain to get the weird things out. And maybe when you start getting into more ideas, you just never know what could happen. So you could spend an afternoon doing this. A couple hours could turn into $1 million. You never know. But, me being an idea person, this is kind of how I work. And I just start dreaming and thinking up ideas. And when you have so many ideas all the time, you don't really get your feelings hurt when some of your ideas are bad, or maybe most of them. It's kind of like writing a song. You have to practice. I do this on businesses and companies I don't work at, I don't own. I just do it as an exercise to practice. I'm doing it right now on thinking about movie theater solutions, only because I feel like there's a solution. They got hit so hard, seemingly for no reason. I feel like there's that sort of Jaws effect of movie theaters when it comes to things floating in the air. There was that one scene in Outbreak. I don't know, the Dustin Hoffman Outbreak movie. I kind of watched it recently when all of this apocalypse stuff went down. But they have the scene where they're in the movie theater and the whole movie theater gets infected. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out what's the solution for movie theaters, because that's a hard one. I'm an optimist. I always think there's some way it's possible to make something happen. So one of the things from watching the last Blockbuster, the documentary isn't out yet, but watching the manager have interviews and talk about different things. When it came to the Blockbuster taking away late fees, because at the time Netflix had no late fees, so that was kind of the one of the reasons why people were switching from using Blockbuster, or going to Blockbuster and switching to using Netflix as a service. And when Blockbuster went to no fees, it kind of killed their stores, because basically all the people that didn't bring their movies back forever, that was just money they were losing. One thing that happened was people weren't bringing their movies back, and then when their good customers would come in to rent movies, all the movies were sitting in people's houses of the bad customers that didn't bring their movies back on time. So the manager of the last Blockbuster is Sandy Harding, and she said in an interview, don't upset your good customers to keep your bad customers. So I thought that was very insightful and smart, and just something that I might have not thought about when I'm trying to create new ideas. So definitely keep that in mind. Don't upset good customers. The goal should be to how can you make your good customers' life more amazing, plus adding new customers. So just keep that in mind. keeping bad customers happy might not be the best approach. And another thing that just kind of came up in my mind was, what are you not going to do at home? I was watching a financial video, I can't remember which one, but they were talking about Wingstop making huge profits in their stock just going up. And they were trying to figure out why Wingstop was doing so well during the shutdowns. And kind of what was figured out was that you can make burgers at home, you can have taco night at home, but you can't really have buffalo wings at home and it tastes as good as a restaurant. I know a lot of people try to pretend they can make good buffalo wings at home, but really there's something about that restaurant chicken nugget, buffalo wing that's just, you can't really make it at home. And they were kind of doing what I always talk about, which is the fast casual being one of the most successful restaurant concepts right now, because people want the higher quality food without the waiter, without the restaurant. They just kind of want to either eat it in a kind of more trendy space. And now with everybody ordering restaurant food at home and that becoming the new thing, think about things that you aren't going to be able to do at home, or you don't want to do at home, or it's just not as good, like buffalo wings. The other thing that I'm kind of thinking about when it comes to new ideas, I'm helping with a startup, and the one thing I'm realizing as I'm researching is since the dot-com bubble, businesses just don't really have to make a profit anymore. They can continuously be having new things and adding new things and using investor money and just building forever, like Amazon is. Or 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. These companies are taking forever to gain a profit, and apparently profit's not as important anymore, which I don't necessarily think is a good thing. But at the same time, it's making me think of businesses in a whole different way, to where a business can just be an ecosystem, to where you have a product that's priced as low as it can go, it's priced the right price, and everybody that works there is able to function, and you're able to have a business, and you can have CEOs, and you can have board members, and you possibly can IPO. Having a functioning business that's its own ecosystem, maybe profit isn't the biggest thing in the whole world anymore. Needing stuff to turn into $100 billions, maybe that's doesn't have to necessarily be the goal. Just wanted to double emphasize collaborations, and maybe there's $1 million idea, just collabing with somebody where it's a win-win. It's a pretty easy solution for everybody, and it's fun. So anyway, the worksheet, which is called Solution Disruption New Idea Worksheet, is available on my Gumroad. The link to the worksheet to download it is in the description of the show. I call it disruption. I might call this something different later. I don't know. I'm really into that word disruption because I feel like it gives kind of a good idea that you can really shake things up and really change, and it's can be super positive. And I looked at the trademark to see if anyone had trademarked that word for anything, and I didn't really see anything. That's what I wanted to call this worksheet. The Gumroad will always be forever there, so use the main Gumroad link to go to my digital store. The link to this worksheet specifically will be in the description, and I appreciate it if you check it out. And thanks for listening to the show on iTunes and Spotify, or watching the show on YouTube. And I guess that's the end of the show. I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.